It's Monday, May 14th, 2018, and it's time for Vanran10 on sports. So we're going to talk about Lebron is doomed. Again? Everybody keeps wanting to say LeBron is doomed. I keep watching these people and they keep sitting there and going, oh, LeBron's doomed. Boston's figured him out. The Cavaliers are going to lose to the Celtics because Marcus Morris is going to cover LeBron the whole series and LeBron's only going to average 15 points a game. The best player in the NBA is only going to average a small amount of points and have bad games for the rest of the series. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Let's reel ourselves back in there, sports reporters. Let's dial it back a notch. LeBron James is the best basketball player in the NBA. He had a bad game. Marcus Morris caught him off guard a little bit. Marcus Morris played him very well. Let's look at Marcus Morris's stats. 21 points, 10 rebounds on 7 of 12 shooting. Not bad, a little over 50%. Marcus Morris averages 13 points a game. That's 8 over his average. Do we think he's going to continue that? Marcus Morris is not one of the best players in the NBA. He's not going to average 21 points a game. Now, I realize Boston killed Cleveland, but Indiana killed Cleveland twice. Cleveland still won the series because Cleveland still has the best player in the NBA. Everybody that's jumping off of the LeBron bandwagon or everybody that's jumping onto the Celtics bandwagon because Boston had one good game, slow your roll, relax. There's still 3 more wins to go for Boston to put them out of their misery. And I still don't think they're going to get it. I still think that the best team is the Cleveland Cavaliers because they have LeBron James. Now LeBron James is, of course, saying, I'm not worried. Don't worry about it. Let's look at this first game. Tatum, 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting, over 50%. Al Horford, 8 of 10, 20 points. How many times is Al Horford going to shoot 80% from the field? Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 9 of 16 shooting. That's about where he should be. But for the most part, there are guys that had to. Marcus Morris and Al Horford, I believe, played a little bit over their heads. Tatum, I think, still has a little bit more that he could contribute. But this is not worrisome so much for LeBron. If LeBron does what he normally does, that game is a lot closer. I mean, if he scores about 28 points, that puts another 13 on there, and that game is closer, and maybe we have a little bit more. Boston got out in front of them. Boston kind of demoralized them, and Boston kind of put them in their place in Game 1. But Game 2 will be different. Cleveland will win Game 2. This is not going to be going down 2-0 into Cleveland. Cleveland stats, LeBron had a bad game. I mean, and his bad game is 15.7 rebounds and 9 assists. That's his bad game. J.R. Smith, 2 of 9. Now, J.R. Smith was a Nugget for a little while, and J.R. Smith is very capable of 2 of 9s. But he's also capable of, 11 of 13s and just lighting it up. Bad night for J.R. Smith. Kevin Love, 5 of 14. He's a better shooter than that. So that was a bad night for Kevin Love. He still had 17 and 8. George Hill, George Hill's not a shooter, but he had no assists. That's not a good thing. Kyle Korver, 2 of 6 shooting, 5 rebounds. Tristan Thompson, 4 of 6 shooting. He had 8 points and 11 rebounds. Rodney Hood, 5 of 12. Clarkson, 4 of 11. I don't think that that team is going to have that bad of a shooting night. Cleveland's not going to have that bad of a shooting night every night. They're just not. And I still think that Cleveland overmatches Boston. And in the end, Cleveland is going to do it. Now, if Marcus Smart, for the entire series, can keep LeBron under 20 points a game, and the rest of the Cleveland Cavaliers still shoot poorly, and the Boston Celtics continue to shoot well, then yes, Boston will win the series. But that means that Tatum, Brown, and some of these other guys are really going to have to play out of their heads for, they're going to have to play out of their heads for 7 games. So it's just one of those things where I don't see Boston doing that. Now, Boston has gotten way further than I thought. I've been wrong about Boston ever since I think I had them losing the first series. So I've had them losing in round 1, I've had them losing in round 2, and I have them losing now. So I've been wrong every time with Boston, but I've been right every time with Cleveland. So this is a battle of who's going to, will Cleveland be able to keep proving me right, or will Boston continue to prove me wrong? I still think Cleveland's got LeBron. LeBron's not going to have another bad game of 5 of 16. Marcus Morris, I get it. He says he's up for the challenge, but Marcus Morris is not going to have too many more games of 21 points and what was it, 21 points and 10 rebounds. I think it caught maybe LeBron a little off guard, and maybe he went in a little bit too cocky, but now he knows that Marcus Morris is serious. I just don't think Cleveland is going to continue to shoot this poorly. I don't think you're going to get another bad. I mean, you got to figure between 2 of 9, 5 of 14. That's 7 of 23, 7 of 23, 9 of 29, 9 of 29, 14 of 41. 14 of 41, 18 of 52. 18 of 52 shooting between Clarkson, Hood, Korver, Love, and J.R. Smith. I just don't think those 5 guys are going to shoot that bad again. I just don't. That is terrible, terrible shooting. That is less than 40%, I think, roughly. So they're not going to all shoot that bad again. Kevin Love will have a better shooting night the next time. I don't think Al Horford is that magical of a defensive center. I think Korver will shoot a little bit better. He doesn't shoot a lot, but he'll shoot a little bit better. I think J.R. Smith, he can't have much worse night than 2 of 9. So I think he'll step it up. Hood, I think he just needs to make a couple more shots. He'll be better. And the same with Clarkson. I think all these guys, they'll all find themselves again. They'll find themselves again, and I don't think they'll all have a terrible shooting night. You got to figure, basically how it all worked out was that the Celtics actually only shot field goal percentage. The Boston Celtics shot 51%, and the Cleveland Cavaliers shot 36%. Cleveland Cavaliers are not going to continue to shoot 36%. So LeBron is not doomed. It's the first game. It was in Boston. I will admit I've been wrong with Boston every single time, but I think that Boston, they just don't have the horses. If I'm wrong about this, then holy smokes, how good is Boston going to be when they get Kyrie Irving and Hayward back next year? I mean, they might be able to compete with the teams in the West on a regular basis if they're this good without their 2 stars. If Tatum and Brown and Morris and these guys and Horford are all this good without their 2 stars, how good are they going to be when they get those guys back? I think the East and even the West, I think all the NBA should watch out if this is how good they're playing. If they can go into the NBA Finals without their 2 stars, and I mean make it that far without Irving, without Hayward, just think what they're going to be. That team might be a magical team for the next 5 or 6 years. So that's going to be one heck of a. I still think Cleveland's got more than enough. So we'll see. Game 2. But LeBron's not doomed. Don't panic. First game, and I guarantee you, even in Boston, they're not overconfident. Boston still knows they've got a long, hard fight ahead of them, and they will continue to play tough. I mean, they've been playing scrappy basketball this whole time. And, I mean, you got to love a team that just puts their head down, works hard, and plays the game the right way. And that's it. There's no egos out there. I mean, Tatum and Brown and Horford and all these guys, they just seem to just be playing really good basketball. So, with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.